How exactly does someone have a good time and enjoy themselves whilst being on self-improvement? Every hour of the day, almost on self-improvement, contributes to some sort of goal. You're either in the gym, you're either working, you're studying, you're doing this, you're doing that, you're like constantly on the grind. You don't spend time with anyone. You're in your room constantly, or you're in the gym. You don't spend time with your family. You don't do like anything with other people. You have no communication with the outside world whatsoever. You're grinding, you're doing this, you're doing that. Everything's going great. But if you reflect on your current situation, are you actually happy? Are you actually sane? Do you feel like self-improvement has actually benefited your mental health in any way, shape, or form? Because while I personally think balance and moderation is an absolute joke, it doesn't work whatsoever, because balance and moderation basically just leads you into being able to succumb to those addictions further down the line anyway. When you quit things like bad habits, smoking, vaping, drinking, etc., sugar addictions, all that sort of stuff, binge eating, when you instead keep those to moderation, it means that you're more likely to just succumb to them again down the line than if you just quit cold turkey and like get rid of them completely from your life. Moderation is just a really weird and dumb thing, personally, because when you go into self-improvement, you start doing things like dopamine detoxes, you start doing good habits, you start to work towards goals, etc. You almost don't really want to invest any more time into those bad habits, because your brain is like wired differently. The dopamine levels, your baseline dopamine, ends up being higher than the general dopamine spike that these highs from drugs and stimulants, etc., would actually normally give you anyway. It's a weird sort of concept. When you are like a happy person with good mental health, the dopamine levels, your baseline dopamine is so high that doesn't give you any kind of extra pleasure in any way, shape, or form. It's a weird thing. But a lot of people wonder how these people actually live their life, because they're constantly on their grind, realistically, in a way. But there is, in a sense, a fine balance between not communicating with the outside world and just being in your room all day, working, and going to the gym for an hour, etc. Maybe you're cooking like for another hour or whatever, and like completely just going off self-improvement and doing all the bad habits under the sun. There is some kind of middle point, but I feel like there isn't any point in doing both of these at the same time. There's not any point in, like, for 5 hours of the day you're doing this, and then 5 hours of the day you're doing that, because they're both bad things. There's no point in balancing those two, but there is a point in finding a good middle ground where it meets the criteria of someone that is actually able to have good mental health and have enjoyment and be happy in life. You don't necessarily have to spend 14, 12 hours a day on your grind working towards something. Sometimes it can be beneficial for your happiness to literally just take a walk inside of nature, go to your nearest woods, relax a bit, let off some steam, let off some stress. That's not necessarily like on your grind in a way, but you're helping yourself, you're making yourself happier, your mental health is getting better because of it. You're actually experiencing the outside world, maybe meeting some nice, normal, sane people that are not like the ones that you see on Twitter, the keyboard warriors, all that sort of stuff. When you do these things that aren't necessarily on your grind, but they are actually beneficial to your happiness and your enjoyment, you will make more progress in the areas of your life where you are actually kind of working than if you just spent 14 hours a day just straight out working. If you spend 14 hours a day straight out working, you'll potentially get like less quality work done than if you spend 8 hours working, you got good sleep, you had healthy meals, you had a healthy diet, and you took a walk in nature and had chats and stuff to your family on a daily basis. And that would mean for those 8 hours where you are actually sort of on your grind, you're actually going to be able to get more done in that 8 hours than what you would if you just spent straight up 14 hours trying to like work. I just don't think that you always have to be working to necessarily benefit your situations, because sometimes like relaxing in a good way, in an actually relaxing way, is the best thing for your body. A lot of people think that like, 1 hour of video games a day is fine to relax. That's like kind of the whole moderation thing. And while the problem is that 1 hour isn't 1 hour, 1 hour turns into 2 hours, one more game, that kind of bullshit cycle, etc. The problem is that 1 hour of video games to relax has the entirely wrong motivation to it, because video games don't help you to relax, because they are graphically overstimulating. it's a bit like, I mean, while this doesn't necessarily apply to every single video game, you're going to have the really weirdly peaceful and relaxing ones that are essentially like watching a nature documentary. But when you're playing like the FPS shooters, do you really think your brain is relaxing when you're trying to calculate all the trajectories of your bullets and your shots and all that like dumb stuff? Of course your brain is going to be working harder than maybe what it was when you were like at school and stuff, than when you're like currently there trying to shoot some people up trees on your like games or whatever. It's, yeah, you're not actually relaxing when you're watching these overstimulating violent movies, Netflix shows, like stuff like that, the video games. Your brain isn't actually relaxing. Your brain is being overstimulated quite a lot. You have the wrong motivation, because if you're doing those things for relaxation, it does end up doing the exact opposite and overstimulating your brain quite a bit. And the two other easiest ways to enjoy yourself and self-improvement are to make your work the thing that enjoys you, make your life's work the thing that you do for the bulk of your day, the 8 hours or so of your day where you are working, when you are on your grind towards your goal. Make that enjoyable. Make that 8 hours an enjoyable part of your day, and then in the remaining 6 hours or so that you're like, you've got free time, you're not sleeping, you're not eating, etc. If those 8 hours are full of enjoyment through working, through the work that you do, you're going to be a lot less likely to fall fail to addictions and fall fail to temptations in those remaining 6 hours, if those 8 hours of on your grind working were actually kind of fun in a weird sort of way. You may almost want to maybe just add an extra hour of your work. Make it 9 hours, because you find it so enjoyable. And while things like 14-hour, 16-hour work days are going to make you lose sleep, going to make you completely unhealthy, not as healthy as what you probably should be, and you're going to sort of experience that thing where the 14 hours is more unproductive than the 8 hours, that kind of thing that I talked about earlier, maybe just adding an extra hour because you are enjoying your work so much. That is one way to mean that you can enjoy yourself and self-improvement, because you actually enjoy the thing that you do for the bulk of every single day of your life. Problem is that the majority of people don't enjoy their work. They may be doing their specific line of career for money. They may have like not got into the career that they actually want to. They may have not started the business idea that they want to. They might not have solved the problems that they want to. They might not have done what they wanted to do with their life's work, and so they can't enjoy themselves in that way. And to that I say that there's no reason to just not try anyway, because trust me, you will find 10 times more happiness and enjoyment in working towards a cause that you are passionate about, working towards something that you are passionate about, working towards just your life's work that is almost like sent to you when you are born in a weird sort of way. Working towards that and not making like as much money as you previously were before will make you 10 times more happier than staying in the current position that you are in, where you make a little bit more money but you're not actually that happy in a weird sort of way. That's like something that many people have experienced before, and I can say from experience that that is definitely true. I'm honestly a lot more happier when I'm recording these YouTube videos than when I'm working some kind of part-time job where I'm not actually like passionate about the cause that job is actually sort of contributing to in a weird sort of way. But that's just my own mindset and personal belief towards this anyway. And the third thing that you can do to mean that you enjoy yourself while being on self-improvement is to spend quality time with quality people. If you move the two qualities from that sentence, you spend time with people, it becomes a lot more of an issue, because you end up spending time with people that aren't really your friends, aren't really your family, but they're almost like your addiction partners in a way. You're going out, you're doing stuff with them, but if you had then decided to stop doing those things, stop like going out, etc., they wouldn't be your friend, because they'd almost like make fun of you for stopping those things in a weird sort of way. If you're spending quality time with quality people, you'll enjoy yourselves, because in a weird sort of way, spending quality time with quality people is a delayed gratification activity, because spent and invested time into making a quality relationship with that person that hopefully will pay dividends when maybe they like show you a job opportunity or a business opportunity, a career opportunity or something down the line. That's how like building quality relationships work. And spending quality time with these people, not just like random sort of messages, etc. Spending quality time, hours at a time with these people is the perfect way to potentially enjoy yourself and let off some steam. Just like how walking in the woods, walking in nature, if you do that same thing with your friends, that is also very, very good and probably multiplies the amount of relaxation and benefits that you will get to your mental health anyway, because you are actually building these quality relationships with people that you care about, not just random people that you don't care about that you may see at school and stuff, because you are spending time with those people, but you don't really care about them. You're not spending quality time with them. You're just in like a lesson with them and stuff like that. But if you just spend a little bit more quality time, hours at a time, with good quality people, then I promise you, you will experience the benefits. And that's about all I have for this video. I hope you enjoyed, and I also recommend subscribing because I love this community of young tribal people who are willing to improve themselves so much more than you already have. And good luck.